Okay. An IEP, or an Individualized Education Program, is used when a student is determined to qualify for special education services. This could be a student who has a disability such as Down syndrome or cerebral palsy, or a student who has a medical diagnosis of ADHD and needs some additional support inside the classroom in order to be successful, or it could be a student who has a speech and language impairment. All of those different disabilities do require an IEP in order to know what goals and objectives will be worked on. An IEP, like I said, is the goals and the objectives that a teacher would work on with a child in a year's time. So here would be the present level, so that's where your child is, what they're able to do, and that's often compared with their same age, typically developing peers, in order to let you know what needs to be worked on so that they can hopefully get up to the same level as their peers. And then they are given a goal right here, which is by the end of the IEP, 1 year. An IEP is good for 1 year, so in 1 year's time, the child will meet a certain goal, be it in preschool, it's often will demonstrate pre-academic skills such as counting using one-to-one correspondence to a certain number. The objectives are the ways to get there. They're how you get to that goal. And these are often written to break down that overall goal into more manageable pieces for your child. This IEP is developed by you, the parent, as well as the child, if the child's old enough to assist in writing this. Representatives from the school, such as the principal or the school psychologist, and the child's teachers and therapists, if they have speech and language therapy or occupational therapy or physical therapy, they're all there. They all put their input in so that we know what needs to be worked on with your child. As a parent, you have a number of roles that you can have in an IEP meeting. According to the Ohio Department of Education website, this is the roles that parents can have. You have to make sure the personal identification information is correct. You help me look at, as a teacher, look at how your child functions at the home and in the community, because I don't always see those kind of things. I just see school, but we really want to look at the whole child, not just how he or she does in school, because we want things to be generalized into the community when you take your child out. You also can help me with abilities and interests, any kind of medical things that happened. You also help me to develop the educational goals and objectives or benchmarks. Everything in the IEP until it is signed as a draft can be changed. We can always go back, and if you feel that something is like I don't have high enough expectations, we can higher the expectations. Or if you feel like maybe an occupational goal for your high school student to write their letters isn't appropriate anymore and you want to start working on typing, that can be adjusted in the IEP meeting. You can also help with determining if you would like to continue therapies such as speech or occupational therapy or physical therapy. You also give me a future planning section of the IEP. So you tell me your hopes and dreams for your child, what you want him to accomplish while he is in school. Basically, you have the end all, say all. It's your choice to continue with the IEP or to not continue with the IEP. Until consent is given from you, I am not able to initiate or implement the IEP. I can't do anything until you give me permission to start working with your child. An IEP, as they progress through school, will also give transition services, so it will help them work for things outside of school once school has ended. IEP also addresses the services that they will receive, how the amount and the frequency, how often they will be seen to work on those goals and objectives by the intervention specialist or the speech language pathologist or the occupational therapist, things like that. Can also look at accommodations so that they're more successful in the gen ed curriculum, things like extended time or the use of a calculator, possibly highlighters and things like that, or any modifications to the curriculum that help them to be successful. Also talks about transportation and non-academics, how they have every right as everyone else to participate. As an IEP team, we always consider the strengths of your child, your concerns, evaluations that we do, including the evaluation team report, the ETR, performance on state and district-wide assessments, and then we just look at the academic, functional, and developmental needs of your child. You have the right at any time to stop an IEP meeting if you feel uncomfortable or if you feel that your family needs to discuss what's going on. You can always stop that meeting. You always have the right to call an IEP meeting even if the IEP is not due. We can meet as a team whenever you feel that it's appropriate to discuss your child's progress, to look at those goals and see if they're where they need to be or if they need to be adjusted. Maybe your student or your child has already met those goals and we need to meet and convene to make those higher goals and give more higher expectations for your child. Overall, the IEP is a team decision. It is everyone working together to find the best way to help your child be successful in the general education curriculum. I welcome any questions you have. I can try my best to answer anything. If I don't know, I can always find somewhere else for you to go. The ODE website, the Ohio Department of Education. It's a great website. They have lots of different things that could help you figure out what all the different parts of an IEP mean.